What's up, everybody? Getting into this episode of Beyond the Gates. Listen, this show is just so amazing. Like everything about it is just so black. And I mean that in the sense of it's so relatable. Like the dialogue is stuff that we as black people would say. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the dialogue just it throws me how relatable it is because every time they say certain things, I say, "Ooh, that's something my grandfather would say." Like, "Oh, that's something my grandmother would say." "Oh, that's something my uncle would say." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so damn relatable, and I love it. Like, that's why I always say this show is so black. And I mean that in such a great positive way because it's just so great to see characters that look like you on TV, just running the show, leading the stories, talking about stuff that you can relate to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it. Even when they're in a different tax bracket, they still saying some stuff that you can relate to, even if they millionaires. And that's I love that. Let's get into it. Listen, Ted, Thaddeus, Theodore. Oh, when he was trying to talk to Nicole and he said, "Baby," I said, if you don't get your ass out of here with that, baby don't live here no more. You better go on with that baby shit. You done lost your privilege to call her that a long time ago when you had your hoe up in her face. Like, I'm just saying, like, you knew your hoe was up in her face and you ain't do nothing to stop it. You lost the privilege to call her baby. Better go to hell on. I love that Nicole was giving it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was not pulling no punches with that man. And I love that she held him accountable. Because so many women who get cheated on, you know what a lot of women do that I noticed? They blame the other woman. They don't check their man. They blame the other chick. And I love how she held Ted accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? She pushed Leslie and Eva to the side. She was like, you know what? This about you. This about what you did. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You hold your dude accountable. You know what I'm saying? For his shenanigans. She was just giving it to him. You know what I mean? Like the shit that he did, like, and I know that hurt her to her core. The fact that you took her son and used him as a cover to go meet your bitch. Like that right there would have got you slapped up. Cause you know how disrespectful that is? To your child, to your wife. Like that's crossing so many lines to me. To take your child to the restaurant, to a diner where you purposely did that. You know you going to meet your chick. Like, are you serious? Everything about Ted in this episode was just straight audacity. That man had audacity throughout this whole episode with the shit that was coming out his mouth. And I love how Nicole called that man Theodore. Now, you know she not playing. She called you by your government. Like, she really fed up with you. That's like R. Kelly, when a woman's fed up. That was my song, too. They should have had that song playing in the background, even though I know they wasn't going to do it because of what's going on with Kelly. But that song would have probably fit perfectly. When a woman's fed up. That's my jam right there. But yeah, like she was just going off on his ass because this man had the gall. When she told him to get out, he said, "How long?" I was looking, I said, "How long?" Because he was like, "How long? Like, how long do I got to be going for?" Excuse me? And Nicole was like, "Oh, day by day." She better than me because that wouldn't have been my response. I'm just saying I would have had a whole different response. Because what the hell you mean how long? Bitch, you took your child to meet your hoe. You called Bill Hamilton, who you know can't be trusted, to fix your mess. Your wife was over here going through miscarriages and you was up in another whole bed. And you got the gall to say how long you need to be going? How long do you have to be going for? I would have told him right there, if you don't get your black ass out of my face, I promise you, it'll be your last day walking. I swear to God, had he would have said that to me, that would have been my response. Get your black ass out of my face. I'm about to... Because Nicole let his ass know. She was like, listen, if I smell your cologne up in here, she said, if I see your ass walk through this door, it's going to be a problem. She said, it's the last thing you going to do. And she meant that. She meant that. I seen it on the face. She meant it. That shit came from her soul. Okay? That shit came from her diaphragm. She meant every word of it. He knew better to keep talking. You better walk your ass up out of here while you still can walk. Because everything that was coming out that man's mouth was just straight audacity. Had the nerve. Better get to stepping. Player. Better keep it moving. Like, you want to sit here talking about, oh, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. Shut your ass up, Ted. Shut up. Nobody want to hear about what you didn't know, because yes, you did. You're lying. You may have, been lied to or whatever about her having that baby, but shit, everything else you knew. Stop playing these games. Then talking about, oh, I paid her. I did. That's even worse. Because I agree with Nicole. Had you would have told her all this 20 years ago, it would have been so different. It would have hurt, but I think she could have got over that. You know what I'm saying? I think they could have worked through that back in the day. But you let this shit go on for over 20 years. Over 20 damn years. You let this go on like a fool. And I love how Nicole took ownership and accountability, because Nicole said, you know what? She said, had I would have known this shit over 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been so condescending and I wouldn't have been so smug about my marriage. Like when she was sitting there giving Danny all this advice about her marriage to Bill and all this, that, and the third. Because Nicole really did walk around like she had the perfect marriage. Like a lot of times she did walk around like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just walking on water. Like Ted was that dude. Little did she know that man ain't shit. He ain't shit. I'm glad he got the stepping. Get going, sir. Get going. So anyway, moving on from that. I'm glad, Kat and Eva had their showdown. It was long overdue. I'm glad they had their talking. Because at the end of the day, as bad as I feel for Eva, because she was a pawn in all this, everything Kat said to her was super true. Because at the end of the day, Eva could have stopped all of this. Eva could have stopped this shit 2 months ago. She could have been stopped this from happening. You know what I'm saying? She talking about, oh, I tried to stop it. Yeah, you tried to stop it the day you knew it was going down. When you had all that time to stop it, you moved along with the plans, Eva. You could have been told Nicole what was up. You could have been told Ted what was up. And you didn't do that. So you have to own that. You got to own it. Ain't nobody else's fault but yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand Eva been through a lot. I understand she didn't have what, Kat had growing up. But at the end of the day, you can't expect somebody who grew up privileged to apologize for that privilege. That's not their fault that they were born into that. I'm just saying. That's not Kat's fault, and Kat shouldn't have to apologize for growing up with great parents and, ones who got money. She shouldn't have to apologize. Nobody should have to. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Just because you grew up a certain way, listen, that's not your fault either. You know what I'm saying? That's not your fault. You grew up the way you grew up due to circumstance. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I feel like, for me, I feel like Eva's not a bad person. Like, she's not a horrible person. I don't feel like she's an evil person. I feel like she just made bad decisions based off of BS that she grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was raised to hate Ted. She was raised to do that. That's not her fault at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's not her fault, but she has to take ownership for what she chose to do. You chose to go along with Leslie's plan up until this point. That was a choice. You could have backed out at any given moment. You could have let it be known. You chose not to. Now, when she gave Kat those DNA papers, I don't trust that shit. I don't. I'm going to need them to run a separate, DNA testing at an independent lab. I'm going to need them to do that. Like, seriously. Because I don't trust her DNA papers. I don't trust Leslie's. I just don't trust it. Nope. Leslie could have easily had those shits altered. I don't trust that. But you know what? I get, Eva basically tried to still reconcile Kat with Ted, because she was like, listen, I know you can't stand him right now. You're mad at him. But that still don't take away the great years that you had with him as a father. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this one little situation ruin what you have built with him since you were a baby, since you were born. Don't let that ruin it. You know what I'm saying? Because naturally, Kat is going to look at her father different. Who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time for her to, love her dad again. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she still love him, but you know what I mean? Like, get that closeness with him again. Be able to trust him. Because that's why I couldn't blame Nicole, because Nicole is looking at him different as a husband. She don't believe nothing that come out his mouth no more. You know what I'm saying? Because if you could lie about something like this and keep that lie for over 20 years, what else the hell are you lying about? Did you have more women? Did you have other affairs? That's the question I would be asking. I don't blame Nicole for asking that. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust somebody like that. All trust is gone. Ted lost trust with everybody. And it don't take, it's gonna take more than a day, it's gonna take more than a month to get that trust back. Once you broke it, they can't believe everything that come out your mouth no more. I mean, come on, you kept a lie for over 20 damn years. That's a long time to hold on to a lie. So if you can hold on to a lie like that for that long, look people dead in their face like every single day and lie, ain't no telling what else you capable of doing. So it's gonna take a minute. But when Kat told Eva she was dead to her, I said, oof, she meant that. She meant it. I felt bad for Eva though. When she was just sitting there by herself crying, I felt bad for her. I said, good Lord. I wanted to jump through the TV and hug that girl. I know she just going through it. So anyway, moving on from that. Leslie. Oof. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Listen, the way she was coming at Martin calling him little brownie man. Something's wrong with her, yo. Little brownie man. Oh, she would have got knocked down. Because, girl, don't come up in here talking no shit. Don't do it. Martin went off on her ass, though. Like, he was going off. Martin was ready to lunge at her, like, literally. Like, Anita had to stop him. Anita was like, Because he was like, you done messed with the wrong damn family. And Leslie tried to talk. Vernon was fed the hell up. Vernon was fed up. He said, you better choose silence. I said, ooh, that is so black. You better choose silence. I know that shit, right, Vernon? Vernon, Vernon fed up. Because the way he looked at her and he pointed that finger at her, I said, oh, now, girl, why you come up in them folk house? Why? And my thing with Chelsea is, why the hell did you let her in? The hell you let that girl in that home for? You nuts? But yeah, gonna sit there talking about some, try to talk shit, calling him little brownie man, trying to bring up the time that they went to the cafe or whatever, to the diner that she worked at. I'm like, girl, stop it. She come up in there spewing all her little mess about how, her daughter need her, and she, how Eva's a part of their heritage or their lineage or whatever. I was like, girl, where are you going with all of this? Because even they were wondering. They was like, what the hell do you want? Hey, what is it that you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, you came here, you got your audience, you keep spewing all this nonsense, and then you want to keep talking. Try to refer to herself in the same way. You know what I'm saying? Try to put herself in the same league, I should say, as the great people of the civil rights movement. And the great, like great legends and stuff. Like Maya Angelou and all them. I said, are you crazy? You must be. You must be off your pill. You are not in the same league as none of these folk. Please stop it, Leslie. Showing them the DNA papers and stuff, telling them to look at the birth certificate, talking about look at the date, talking about Eva and Kat were born 2 weeks apart. They basically twins. I said, that struck me. Because my whole thing is something got to be more to this story, because 2 weeks apart. And what I find strange is, why would you come to the Duprees? Why would you come to Vernon and Anita house for? Talking about their heritage and Eva's a part of their family. No, Eva's a part of the Richardson family. The Richardson family is separate from the Dupree lineage. So what are you talking about? Talking about, oh, she just want understanding and for them to basically accept Eva and all that. Why should the Duprees accept her? She's not a part of their family. She's a part of the Richardson family. That's Ted's problem. That's not theirs. That's what got me to thinking, like, did Nicole really have twins? And she didn't know it? And Leslie found a way to take one of the babies? Eva? That's what I'm thinking, because 2 weeks apart, and then you come to the Dupree mansion? Why would you be there? Ted isn't a Dupree. He's only a Dupree by law, by marriage. Basically, he's a part of that family. So why would you be appealing to them to accept your daughter when she's not a part biologically of their family? That's what struck me. And I'm like, It must be a twin situation. Gotta be. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point. Um, so she tried to leave. And Anita said, whoa, whoa, whoa. She said, no, no, no. Anita was like, I got home field advantage. She was like, you really thought you was going to come up in my house and had the last word? She said, no, I heard enough of you. She said, you don't talk long enough. It's time for you to hear what I got to say. And I felt like Anita really scared the shit out of her. I feel like Leslie definitely is afraid of Anita. Like Leslie thinks she crazy and thinks she ain't afraid of nobody, but trust me, she gonna size you up. Anita's an old school one. She don't play. She'll beat your ass, but she tried to keep it cute and classy. She even let the rest of the family know when they was cackling and making jokes. She said, no, 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 mind your manners. Remember where your manners are. I said, see, that's a matriarch. I like that. And you see how they all shut up and told the line? That's how you know that's a boss. That's a matriarch right there. That's respect. Because even Anita was, making fun of Leslie, like, your whole speech was a little Shakespearean. I was like, right? Like, that was straight from the theater. Because I wasn't believing none of what was coming out of her mouth. It just sounded like some shit from a play that she just came up with, trying to make it sound sincere. And Anita broke her down like a 12 gauge shotgun. Anita clocked her T. Anita was like, baby, you used your own daughter. She said, what kind of mother are you? She said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself because you weaponized your own child. Used her as a pawn in your game because this is what you wanted. You wanted to be a part of society. The upper crust. That's what you wanted. Ain't none of this got nothing to do with her daughter. Leslie don't give a damn about Eva. Let's be for real. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? This was about Leslie and her revenge and what she wanted. Sitting there talking about, oh, she should have been by Ted's side and all that. Anita was like, listen, what happened between you and Ted, that was in private. Basically letting her know that shit between you and Ted ain't got nothing to do with us. But now you're making it about us. Because what you did tonight against us was public. You did some shit to us, and we ain't had nothing to do with what's going on with you and Ted. That's between you and Ted. Now you're putting us in your shit. Anita broke her down, and I loved it. I love it. Anita was giving it to her. You know what I'm saying? Anita got that last word in. Because at the end of the day, Leslie don't want it with that family. Like, you really don't. Especially the matriarch. Oh, you don't want it with her. You barking up the wrong damn tree. Better go sit down somewhere. Better go have a sit down. Because I'm like, girl, that's not where you want to go. I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, Leslie definitely got something up her sleeve. She not finished with them. I definitely feel like it has something to do with the girls possibly being twins. But Leslie, she need to understand, like, you don't want to keep messing with that family. Like, you really don't. Like, you better back down. I felt bad for Martin. Like, I really did. When he got home and saw that book, with the inscription on it from his father, and he threw that shit, Martin was tearing that home up. And Smitty had to come in and calm him down. And I'm glad he got Smitty. Because Smitty is definitely his peace, I feel. Smitty tries very hard to be Martin's peace, and try to calm him down, let him know, like, we going to work through this. We going to get through it. But Smitty don't even know, like, it's going to be a bumpy road ahead because not only are they dealing with this Leslie mess, but Martin still got, skeletons in his closet that's about to come out soon. And they're, Smitty going to have to deal with the fallout from that. And I don't know how much more Smitty going to be able to take. You dealing with all this drama, all this mess, and then Martin's secret about to come out. It's going to be too damn much. I don't know how that marriage going to survive all that. But Smitty a good husband, though. That's a real good husband. Martin is very lucky. And I feel like Martin definitely take him for granted. And, hopefully Martin realizes the errors of his ways and start changing it. You know what I'm saying? Because he over there tearing up homes and shit. I get that you mad, but sir, you tearing up your own shit. You need to calm that down because who cleaned all this up? Now they talking about they got to clean it up for the kids to get home. Bump that. You better get your maid or something. Because I wouldn't be picking all that shit back up. I'm just saying. It's late too. Please, I'll be right in that bed going to sleep. Clean none of that mess up. I make his ass do it by himself. He the one tearing up stuff. So, anyway, moving on from that. So we get to the end of the episode and Anita breaks out in Amazing Grace, which was beautiful, I might add you. And we get this montage of all the characters. Ted going up in his little hotel room, contemplating life, seeing how much he fucked up. Kat coming home, seeing her mother sitting there and hugging her and, cuddling up with her on the couch and, giving her support, which was beautiful. Fucking Eva. Eva went home, tried to walk in the door, try to unlock the door. This bitch Leslie got the chain on the door. That's how you know everything Anita said to Leslie was so true. Leslie don't care about her daughter. She really don't. She came up with that little bullshit line. Oh, my daughter need me. Oh, I love her. I do all this for her. But your evil ass sitting up in that apartment sipping your wine while your daughter can't even get in the home. Like, you locked her out. And she crying for you at the door. Mama. I said, oh my God. That broke me. That broke my heart. I said, oh my God. Mama. I said, oh. The actress that played Eva, she killed that shit. Like, I felt every bit of her pain. And she crying out for her mother, and her mother just sitting there sipping her wine, just nonchalant, smirking, don't give a damn. I said, what type of bitch are you? What type of mother are you? Like, oh, you know what, Eva, get away from that door. Because the best thing Eva gonna do is walk away from that devil. I'm telling you, how crazy you got to be to do that to your own child. Like, that's psychological warfare right there. Like, that is just so damaging to somebody's mental to like play with them like that. To do what Leslie does to her is just so mentally draining. Like it, baby, Leslie gonna go straight to hell with gasoline drawers on. I swear to God, it's a special place for somebody like her, because that was just so cruel. It was so cruel. But anyway, this was such a fun, great episode. This was definitely a great follow-up episode to the Cliffhanger Friday. This was wonderful. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought. I'll see you all later. Peace.